I hear that. I'm going to go to you next, Nobbins, actually. Arsenal obviously playing Newcastle United tomorrow night, Carabao Cup, first round semi-final, first leg. Not first round, first leg. They had a torrid time, really, against Brighton at the weekend. Took the lead, but then kind of faded, and the penalty. Fans not very happy. Too much of a negative approach, not attacking enough. How do they rectify that for the game tomorrow against Newcastle, which feels like it's going to be a bit of a feisty affair?
So who's hosting? Is it who's at home?
Arsenal.
Right. It's hard, isn't it? Because Newcastle's strength is their midfield, which I've touched on before, is incredibly technically gifted, but also incredibly athletic and physical. But based on, I think, like illness/injuries, I think Arsenal are basically limited to basically matching them up by having a equally physical midfield, by starting, Rice and Moreno, as I understand it, because I think Ødegaard's wasn't quite fit to start, for example, was he? So he might not be able to start. I don't know. How do they rectify it? I don't think they, in terms of their issues this season, I don't think that's possible, because I think the only way they can rectify their issues is to sign players, to be honest with you, or for their injured players to return. So it's a bit of a cop-out answer, but I don't know how they can rectify the issues that they have had this season going forwards without bringing in reinforcements or without injured players coming back. We touched on what the front.
Who do you think will win, Nobbins? Do you think
the game or the leg or the match?
Just this game.
The
leg. I'll tell you what, the leg.
This leg. I think it will be a 1-0 win to Arsenal.
That's
and then over the return leg?
2-1 Newcastle, and it'll go to pens.
That's realistic. Because now...
I think Newcastle will win it. I can't lie.
Now...
So let David finish. Let David finish, please, again. I'll go to you next. Sorry, brother.
I look at the way Arsenal currently playing, and I just can I again? They might, if they it depends. Again, the Carabao Cup's weird because teams can rotate or teams can go full strength, and you never know. If they both go full strength, I think over 2 legs Newcastle would do them. Mainly because Newcastle have got Botman back, which I think is a massive win for them. He got injured in the last game. He even got injured. I don't know how long his injury is, but hopefully they have him back. If not,
they'll have Share back though,
and they've got Share back as well. But I just think right now Arsenal's biggest weakness is that they can't create. And if Newcastle score 2 goals in a game, which again Isak and Gordon is very likely to do, I don't see how Arsenal can make it up. I think if Newcastle score 3 goals in 2 legs, which I back them to do, they win the tie. I just don't. I don't see Arsenal bundles of goals anymore.
I think putting Tonali back in the 6 or 7 games ago for Newcastle from Eddie Howe literally saved his job.
It's unlocked Bruno, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well? Man City should be looking at him. I know Pep's already flirting.
He's my number 1 pick, Henry. He's my number 1 pick.
If you put him alongside Rodri when he's fully fit and back, oh my lord, with someone in front, Savio, Haaland, and etc., Man City are right back up there. But in terms of that midfield, the balance they've got in physicality on how physical Joelinton is, Tonali just mopping up, and then Bruno just pulling the strings. I would argue right now for me that's the best midfield in the league. I think that the balance he's got, I think it's clear for me. And then what Newcastle have got at the moment is match winners in Isak and Gordon. Let's be honest, I don't want to get onto our game, but they weren't great against us at all. We were by far the better team. But the way they will set up against you is to sit and counter.
What? Did you mean in the second half?
What, against Tottenham Newcastle game? They weren't the better team, no way.
They were in the first half by far.
But they had 15 minutes and they scored both goals in those 15 minutes. But other
they
than that,
they should have beaten you. They should have been 4-0 up at our time.
No way. The second half, they literally just went, okay, we'll just sit and defend. Okay, that's exactly what they did. And we had a number of chances. We don't have matches. We'll get to Tottenham in.
That's what they had to do, though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think they will do against Arsenal. If they get an early goal, I think they will just say, look, you come at us. Because they are on the counter-attack so dangerous right now. And they're good from set pieces.
pound for pound, Terry, you love doing this. Newcastle have the best attack in the league, pound for pound, based on money spent and just like overall, like compare them to every team in the league. Compare them to Chelsea. Compare them to Liverpool.
I'd still take Liverpool's personally.
Compare them to what do you call it? City. They have two players you could argue that are one of the best in their position in the league. The right hand side is very weak, which kind of throws it off. But if they go and get Brian and Mbeumo, they could have one of the best attacks. They already have a solid midfield. They're going to be a dangerous team for this.
Yeah, they've got a really good mixture, Newcastle. And look, I still think they need better quality overall. The reason why they're inconsistent is because they still need better if they ever want to win the Premier League. However, Isak's amazing, but they've got so much. They've got great technical ability. Isak, as you mentioned, Tonali, etc. But there's so much Bruno Guimaraes, but they have a physicality that goes with it. And I think that I think football is going through a period where I look at the Man United team and as happy with as I was yesterday. If we had 2 or 3 players in our team that had explosive acceleration and could carry the ball, again, I think the game's different. But we're just we're a little bit too slow. And Newcastle have got a very nice blend of that. And if they can start adding now each transfer window, another player here, another player there that has that same kind of composition, good technician, great engine, good stamina, bit of speed, bit of power. They add those things together. They're going to keep being dangerous. City at their best in the Premier League under Pep. The volume of speed, power, coupled with that technical ability they have was amazing. And they're very, very good, Newcastle, when they're on point. However, it's that you can get at them. Man United went 2-0 down quickly, brought Mainu into the game. We should have scored 2 goals. Spurs in that second half should have scored goals. They just Spurs couldn't score in a brothel at the weekend. After that opening goal, which was very, very good, they should have scored goals. So listen, Arsenal should be winning this game. And the first leg anyway, they should be winning it. But I think you need a 2-goal lead to qualify for the final. I think if it's 1 goal or you go up their level, I think Newcastle will win because I know everyone's desperate for trophies. All of us are. But if we're being honest, barring Henry on this panel, as much as we all want more trophies, we're all quite full in the reality of our lives. Does that make sense? Not this season. We're all quite full. We look at our titles, our trebles, our Champions Leagues, our FA Cups with Gal. Like we all look at these things and we go, I want more, but I've still had enough. My belly's full. Those Newcastle fans at St James's Park, they are hungry.
They're starving.
They are hungry.
Was it the 50s? Was that the last?
50s, bro. My dad was like 3 or 4 years old. So Arsenal have got to win by 2 clear goals or more, I think. Otherwise, the away leg, again, coupled amongst Champions League games starting again, FA Cup starting, big Premier League games, Arsenal are going to have to rotate as well. They're going to have to rotate. And they've got injuries. They need a 2-goal lead, I think, to qualify for the final because Newcastle are very good, and I'm paying credit here to them. So yeah, I'm excited about both of these semi-finals this week. But
I expect Timber back, Miles Lewis, Skelly back, probably Saliba and Gabriel. Midfield, Odegaard hopefully is ready to go. I'm gonna go Rice. I'm gonna go Partey, and then the front 3. Havertz hasn't played the last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys got to remember that we were not only down because Saka is one of our best attackers. Our second best goal scorer this season has been Havertz, who's also been out. So hopefully him, Jesus, and Martinelli can do something. But really and truly, I agree with you, Terry. We need to have a 2-goal margin going into St. James's Park, a ground which we've struggled in. And Arsenal fans are not going to want to hear this, but with Liverpool playing the way that they've been playing for majority of the season and Arsenal's record in the Champions League, this Cup could be our realistically best chance of winning a trophy right now at this moment in time. As it currently is, this is the best odds of us winning a trophy is the League Cup. So we need to at least try to go as far as possible and take this game very serious. We're at home. A 3-1 or a 2-0 win leaves us in a comfortable position going into the game against St. James's Park. But I do not want to go into this game against Newcastle at their ground needing a goal or what do you call it, only by a goal up, because I do see them winning the game at their ground. So at least a 2-goal buffer needs to be had, and Arteta needs this. Arsenal needs this, and I would say in the grand scheme of things, Newcastle might be hungry, but who needs it more? I'd say Arsenal, because we can't be going another season without a trophy as the stature club that we are. We can't.
If Newcastle come tomorrow night and get a draw, would you back yourself to go to St James's and win?
A draw for them is as good as a win because they know they're going to their ground with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But would you be confident you can go to St James's under the lights?
When is that game being played? In a week's time?
2 weeks
No,
time.
it's in February.
That's right, February. Sorry,
2 weeks time. Maybe we have some more players back
February.
by then, but
It's
regardless,
after the transfer window, so you'll know.
maybe we'll have some new signings or new players by then. But really and truly, I don't want to think that far ahead. The honest truth is, Henry, we want to get our job done at home, and if we can't get our job done at home, we can't expect ourselves to go there and go overturn a massive.
I'd like to say the same. We can get our job done at home, but at the moment,
you know what? When I first drew Newcastle, I said to myself, yes, Newcastle. But now looking at it, Tottenham would have been an easier game.
Yeah, of course it would have been. I mean,